12, 2024 were approved and signed by the board. The clerk treasurer presented the council with the financial statements. Sullivan County Clerk Treasurer Tanya Bedwell gave a short presentation on voting centers and asked the public in attendance if they had any questions. She also invited them to attend a public hearing discussing voting centers. Jason Simler of Baker Tilly was in attendance and presented the TIF management report to the town council. Council President Noah J. Southwood presented a new rules of decorum for the town council to vote on and approve. After an open discussion with the public and among themselves, the council made several amendments to the new rules of decorum. Councilmember Alex Norris made a motion to have Council President Noah J. Southwood make the amendments requested and to bring back an updated rules of decorum to adopt at the next town council meeting. Seconded by Councilmember Aaron Lewis. All in favor. Councilmember Alex Norris made a motion to hire Brandon Zebar as a new water laborer. Seconded by Councilmember Jared Miller. All in favor. Councilmember Alex Norris made a motion to hire Samuel Scott as a new water laborer. Seconded by Jared Miller. An open discussion then began between the council and Foreman Joel Miller. Councilmember Alex Norris then said he wanted to rescind his motion. Councilmember Alex Norris then made a new motion to hire Zachariah Cliff as the new water laborer. Seconded by Aaron Lewis. All in favor. The council mentioned the new hire start dates will be in 2 weeks. Adam Sitka from Wessler Engineering was here to discuss the possible generator project out on the wells. After the discussion, the council decided to table this topic until the next meeting. The council asked President Noah J. Southwood to contact IDEM and give them minimum requirements for what is needed. At the previous town council meeting, the council made the decision to advertise for mowing bids for the 2024 mowing season. The council received 4 sealed bids and they opened them as follows. Brian Thrasher, $450 per mow. Arlo Rambus Lawn and Landscape, $550 per mow. Top Notch Lawn Solutions LLC, all properties mowed weekly at $63,625 total for 32 weeks of mowing. And Route 54 Landscapes at $895 per mow. Council President Noah J. Southwood made a motion to accept Brian Thrasher's bid and hire him for the 2024 mowing season. Seconded by Councilmember Aaron Lewis. All in favor. Council President Noah J. Southwood made a motion to accept the agreement between the town of Shelburn and Thrive West Central for a comprehensive master plan. Seconded by Councilmember Aaron Lewis. All in favor. Councilmember Alex Norris made a motion that we accept the maintenance contract between the town of Shelburn and Yargis Enterprises LLC, doing business as B&S Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling for $1,844, billed $461 4 times a year for the HVAC system at the interurban building. Seconded by Council President Noah J. Southwood. All in favor. Councilmember Alex Norris made a motion for Yargis Enterprises LLC, doing business as B&S Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling to install supply and men's restrooms for $450. Seconded by Councilmember Aaron Lewis. All in favor. Councilmember Alex Norris made a motion to accept an invoice from Yargis Enterprises LLC, doing business as B&S Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling for $400 for cleaning the grill at the interurban. Seconded by Councilmember Jared Miller. All in favor. The council discussed the possibility of leasing a new backhoe, but it was tabled. However, Councilmember Alex Norris did make a motion to accept a quote for $1,786 for new tires on the current backhoe. Seconded by Councilmember Aaron Lewis. All in favor. The discussion of the towing practices by the Shelburne Town Marshal has been brought up in meetings in the past. The Sullivan County Dispatch towing rotation includes Signal 40 from Shelburne and Recovery Plus Towing in Armorsburg. Those are the only towing companies on the countywide towing rotation. In the fall of 23, the town marshal allegedly stopped using the towing rotation and is using out-of-county towing company instead. The town received a letter from the owner's attorney at the end of 23. After an open discussion between the council and Marshal Price stated that he should not have to use these companies, especially Signal 40 Towing, because the tow truck driver of that company harasses him in his department. After continued conversation, Marshal Price agreed to use Signal 40 Towing, but not Recovery Plus Towing. The owner of Recovery Plus Towing was in attendance and offered free towing to anyone in Shelburne who was towed. Councilmember Jared Miller made a motion to allow Marshal Price to create his own special Shelburne towing rotation that must include Signal 40 Towing, but will exclude Recovery Plus Towing from the rotation. Seconded by Council President Noah J. Southwood. Vote passed 3-1. Councilmembers Southwood, Miller, and Norris voted in favor. Councilmember Aaron Lewis voted no. The council decided to table the discussion about making changes to the appointment handbook for a future meeting. Council President Noah J. Southwood has scheduling conflicts before the next 9 council meetings. Councilmember Jared Miller made a motion to change the following meeting dates: April 9th to April 16th, October 8th to October 19th, November 12th to November 19th, December 10th to December 17th. Seconded by Councilmember Alex Norris. All in favor. Fire Chief Alex Norris brought forward his 2024 fire agreement between the town of Shelburne and Shelburne Volunteer Fire Department. The council decided to table it until they had time to review it. Council President Noah J. Southwood appointed Brad Cagle and Mark Schroeder to read the made a motion to accept a quote from utility supply company for $23,088.65 for replacements that need to be made in the Hollywood area. Council President Noah J. Southwood made a motion to pay a $1,500 invoice from WTHGIS for GIS software for the computer at Town Hall, seconded by Councilmember Alex Norris. All in favor? Councilmember Jerry Miller made a motion to accept an invoice from Brown's Tire for $3,000 for new tires for the fire truck, seconded by Council President Noah J. Southwood. The bill passed 3-1. Councilmember Southwood, Miller, and Lewis voted in favor. Councilmember Alex Norris abstained due to being the fire chief. A motion was made by Councilmember Jerry Miller to adjourn the meeting, seconded by Aaron Lewis. All in favor?
Minutes have been read. Do we have any additions or corrections? None being, minutes stand as approved as read. Department reports, Dusty Getches, water and wastewater.
Yeah, he's not going to be here. He did give me his report. It was on the stack. Hopefully there's a problem. He cannot come when it's the third Tuesday of the month because he has another town that day. So he gave it and he said review it, and if you have any questions, he'd be happy to follow up with whatever. And I don't know, Joel's here, so I don't know if Joel can answer questions here.
Okay. We'll see if Joel can answer some of these questions if council has any. I say we'll go into Joel's report.
Well, no bad word or anything on. So I am not sure. We did get things worked out on the road for Ivan. Then at the water tower, the new gravel line underneath the tower there. Our biggest thing is just been call after call about sewer issues. Ever since joint came through, we have not been able to do anything with sewer. I'm thinking when they bored all the lines through town, that they hit some laterals or a main, and it's just letting rainwater in like crazy. It's flooding everything out. None of our lift stations keep up. Manholes are blowing water off the top of them. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. That's just my opinion. We only found one sinkhole so far that shows that that's one place, and that's on Thomas Street there where I think is. There's a sinkhole out in that last room that's the size of a 50-gallon drum.
Is this all over the system or is it an isolated area?
Because they were all over town.
Yeah. This last rain we had out there in Hollywood on Pennsylvania, there was a lot of standing water that didn't used to be there when the rain came over. So I don't know, could be the whole system.
I know there's people that have problems. I know it never had problems, and me and Joel talked about this weekend, and the only thing different we came up with was joint, like Percy and Adams, Michael Patton, Slip. I mean, they live over there, never had any problems, but I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but I mean, that was terrible.
Sullivan also has the same issue with joint. They went through all of their sewer lines and everything.
I remember I just got out of the higher meeting they had those yesterday. They're talking to joint people, the town company, able to watch them and get some reimbursement for damages.
Yeah, we should probably talk to our leader. I mean, if we can pinpoint, and that caused.
I think we should probably get with Dustin and get Dustin's opinion what we should do going forward. I think we may, because I'm not a sewer, I'm not a wastewater guy, I don't have the certifications Dustin does, that's why I suggest we go to him, talk to him, find out what the best route would be to go. If we can get visual evidence, maybe we can camera it, I don't know. But we'll have to have visual evidence, and if it is joint, it caused all of this, then I'd say then we'd get the evidence contact, joint, and whoever the supervisor over this, and, try to get a settlement. If we, of course, we're gonna have to prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get a board scope, we're gonna board
Yeah.
scope down there.
So that's my suggestion. We need to get on this immediately, not wait till the next month.
I brought it up to Dustin earlier.
Yeah, so basically anything you run across you think they caused, get pictures and footage, somehow we can, I mean,
The only thing that's cost efficient though is waiting until the sinkhole clears.
I don't think
It can be devastating if it's something that's under a road, because then we gotta wait for the road to collapse.
I think this is, we got 2 other council members. My opinion is this needs to be addressed immediately. We can't wait.
That's where,
That's my opinion.
I agree.
the only real way to find it is to run a camera through all the mains, which would cost quite a bit. But if they did hit mains, then we're gonna have to start going lateral after lateral after lateral. And I don't think that's a thing that could be used.
Can you start with, like, putting an alert out on Reach Alert, asking any of our residents if they have sewer issues to call in and report it, and that way you just have a list of where to start?
yeah, I mean, the community could almost narrow it down. I mean, like I said, they went through everywhere and everything. And, you know, if we had to backtrack everything they've done, I mean, it would take a lot of people and a lot of hours. I mean, but I mean, like, at the same time, we can't just wait for a hole to appear. We need to, you know, try to find this. But I see what Joel's saying. I mean, there's a million possibilities, and to look at every one it's going to be, it'd be very costly, and it'd take a lot of time.
Would it be, with you 2 present, this is a suggestion, either, and I don't care, I can sit in on it, or if one of you want to do it. I think 2 of us should get with Dustin and have a meeting, that way we're not violating the open door law as a committee, and get with him, get some kind of plan of action, come back to a council meeting, maybe we have to set up a separate special council meeting, address this, but I think we need to get on this ASAP. He's our wastewater operator, he knows the system, and I think his advice would be very,
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he knows it better than I do. You know, I mean, he knows. I mean, and he's old. I mean,
right,
so,
right. Well, Joel could probably sit in on the meeting too,
Yeah.
but I think we need to get on this as quick as we can. Are we in agreement to do that?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'd call him tomorrow and try to find a time that's good for him. I mean,
Do you two want to take the lead on it and go with it?
yeah,
Okay.
we can do that.
Okay. I'd say set up a meeting with Dustin and get a game plan, write some things down, and then, once you've got the information you think you need, then reach out to Melissa and, set up a meeting. I'll look at my phone. What's next? I'm jumping ahead here, but this, I might as well address this. We're gonna go to the, our employment manual, the employee policy manual, and we discussed this back and forth, Blair and I have, and this is on the agenda, that's why I wanted on the agenda to get moved. But we could probably add another thing to this, and, because I was maybe gonna call, see if we could have a meeting on the 23rd, or even tonight, to approve the amended version of the employee policy manual, so we could put it in effect and not have to wait until our monthly meeting in May. I think we want to talk about that. We could maybe add this, get your study committee together, and then make recommendations, and maybe we could take some kind of action next week. That's just a suggestion.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So let's you 2 get with Dustin, and then we'll figure it out. Maybe put this together for the nights out. We'll schedule a meeting.
I'll get hold of him in the morning.
Okay. Any good news?
Yeah,
How's the new employee working out?
Pretty good so far. He's quiet, so we're gonna have to change that.
Okay.
Whatever we ask, whatever we ask. I ain't got no problem out of this.
I'm hurrying here, I'm trying to, I don't wanna be asking you questions that Dustin's already answered on his report. The dump truck, did we get the dump truck fixed?
It is being worked on.
It's being worked on, so it will be fixed in 2 or 3 weeks.
Actually, we're supposed to get back this week.
Okay.
Where we're at.
Okay,
I called last week and they couldn't tell us much because that same day they just got it into the garage. But they were supposed to be home this week and let's go find out.
okay. You and I discussed with the council that GIS with setting it up, you have it on your iPhone. You ever had a chance to get with Sean to get it on his? Any chance?
Dustin, I got with him was easy. Basically, only get one to go do on it. And as far as I know, he got hold of him, gave him Sean's email and all that. Sean hasn't said anything, so I'm assuming
So
he
he-
got it, but can't promise that he got it.
Okay. I'd suggest we get the other employee geared up on that. I assume he's got a cell phone too. I would like to see him, updated on this and get him on that also. What do you think? I mean, we might as well use this technology.
I
It's,
think all employees will.
okay.
Since you brought that up, I have been on and updating everything that I personally think about for, as far as the lead copper.
Yeah,
I've done Cherrydale, Carroll Creek, Wilson Thomas, a lot of the in-town, just as good.
so you got access, you get on that workstation on that now, the software, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I talked with Bailey. I met Bailey last week when I was in Indianapolis at the water. It was a Alliant or Indiana section of the AWWA. She was there, so I met her. We talked a little bit about, that we could go ahead and put that out if we wanted to, but I like to try to get as much as we can, to get as much data that we can and not submit it this early. Because if we do that, I know what's going to happen. IBM in a year from now is going to come back, so that's not enough. You need more information. So, yeah, keep up the word.
Throw a pile in the lap, so it takes a lot of work for it.
Yeah. How's I talked with Brian Walker. He said you ordered the quote on the water line and all that for Hollywood.
Because we made jokes about it afterwards. He already made us quote for the month, and then added that to it. I said, we should put that on the next month then, so you wouldn't have to work all month.
So, have you made any type of plans to try to replace some of this yet? Or you got a game plan yet? Or?
Not yet. Right now, what we're doing is just trying to catch it on all
Okay.
loose ends now that we got the extra help.
Okay.
And then get that caught up. That way we can
All right.
hop on it and keep going.
Okay. The scene where the 4-inch meter chlorine building got installed, wired up, that was a question I had, so that's done. And the violation 5 minor deficiency, which was on that sanitary survey, that's what you was talking about, the gravel and all that now, is up to where it's gonna satisfy them around the footers of the,
Yeah, it took a lot.
Took a
I
lot.
didn't realize how low that was. We used like 3.5 dump truckloads of gravel just underneath it. And that was just getting it slightly higher than the
Yeah.
rest.
can you take a picture of that and send that to me so I can get that to IDM?
I only sent something too low. Make sure we don't drive under it no more or park under it, because we was
Smash it down.
did. And he said something about putting a fence around it to give us some stop. And I didn't know if that was like a joke or if he meant like for us to put a fence up so no one could drive under it. Like maybe like that orange snow fencing or something, keep people from driving. I
Okay, that's all I got. I think if we set this meeting up, I'd like to also put in that, since we probably need to have Dustin at that meeting, hopefully he can make it next Tuesday night, we set this up. I'd like for him to be able to give his water report then, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
With you
Yeah.
two.
If we have to, FaceTime, so can't be here.
Do you want me to text him real quick while we're sitting here?
Yeah, if you would, that'd be great. That'd be
What time are
great.
you thinking?
I was thinking 6 o'clock, like we normally do.
Oh, one more, don't forget, on the stormwater, over between Griffin Mill and then Thomas and State, that back alleyway drain, the big one, it started to collapse. And one started to collapse was, I don't know the address, it'd be midway down Griffin, right over here. It's, 2-footer, maybe 2.5 foot clay tile. So it's pulling in dirt like a lot. And that house around that's got concrete sidewalk, it's already taken out on both sides. So it's even a 3-foot hole on both sides of it, where it's just pulling dirt in. We should work on that sooner than later, because all it takes is one kid to be walking across the sidewalk and slip, and then, it'll be bad.
What size, do you know what size it is?
I'm thinking it's at least 2 foot. With clay tiles and the breaks, there's no repair in it, it's just replacing.
No, that's what everybody's paying $10.50 a month for, so.
I've been meaning to bring it up, because I noticed sinkholes, and then the lady that lives there said something to me when I was out there looking at it, and it's just getting worse, so that's what it's got to be out there.
I'd say replace it. What do you think?
Yeah.
It might be costly, it might not be costly, I don't know, because I don't even know what, I just know it's clay tile and it's about that tall. I don't know, if we got fingers coming off or what we got until we actually open.
Well, we replaced that down there on Maple Street years ago between State Street and Thomas Street, where that creek is. We put, I don't know what size, I think that was a
It's
36
basically,
culvert.
it's one block to the
South.
South?
coming up to Mill Street. Same ditch line and everything.
Well, we've got stormwater money, so I'd say get it. You gotta dig it out, replace it. That's my.
Yeah, no, yeah, especially when you're right there by.
To me, that's just a maintenance issue, so I don't, you can make a motion you want to, but I think it's just a maintenance issue, just being okay to do it.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's gotta be done, it's getting worse, and like I said, it's a safety hazard, so.
And one suggestion, don't replace it with clay tile.
I don't even know where you would get clay tiles, so you don't have to worry about that.
Probably just go to wholesale drainage. That would be I would have an account with it for years. That's all I got.
Dustin texted back, he said he could do 4 but not 6, or he could do Monday at 6.
I could be here by 4.
I could be here at 4 on
I'll
Tuesday.
be dirty, but I'll be here.
So 4 p.m. on Tuesday, 23rd. And it's just a special meeting specifically to discuss, sewer and,
Right now, we've got sewer and possibly, we'll get to it, possibly, passing the amendment on the, for the full, employee policy manual.
so sewer and employee policy manual on the 23rd.
Yeah.
4 p.m. Oh, I guess we should check to make sure this is open. Is it? I'll check tomorrow to make sure that the meeting is open.
Okay. Well, since, have some kind of game plan action next week.
Is the meeting public?
Yes. Alex Norris Fire Department, since Alex is not here, this is kind of a catch-all.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you start opening up a special meeting.
Stuff flows.
Alex, I asked Alex when he called me, and he said, I said, can you make it on the 23rd? He thought that he could. So, just a suggestion, he's fire chief, I'd like to have his fire report. Just
So like a month, yeah.
now, so if Melissa, if you could add that also.
Okay. Are we gonna, cause down a little bit, we're skipping ahead, but we have his, somewhere, fire coverage for 2024, do we wanna put that on our list too, renewing his contract?
Yeah, I think so myself, that's my opinion, just put it all together since you can wrap that up as fire department report. All right, so we got Matthew Price, Town Marshal.
Thank you.
All right, so Shelburne Police Department responded to approximately 113 calls for service between March 1st and March 31st. That's the month we're reporting on. And of course, on the back of the report, as always, it shows what the calls were, not specifics, but just what type of call that it was as well. Responded to approximately 35 calls for assistance, other departments within the county within that month as well. Shelburne Police Department completed approximately 340.04 hours of service between March 1st and March 31st. Then it breaks it down between patrol, administrative. We used to say administrative training, but if you notice, I switched it up that way. It wasn't a question of how many hours we're going for administrative and how many hours we're being on training, so I just switched it and added to it. And then court prep time as well. And then, of course, it breaks it down by the reserve at the bottom as well. So again, caliber reports 113 calls of service, and of course that doesn't count for any ongoing that hasn't been investigations that haven't been turned in or filed yet. We did just receive, so we had let me rephrase it. So we had, of course, our body cameras, but we had car cameras before. But for whatever reason, it never really worked from the get-go. We've had like a lot of trouble with them, even though for the car that set. So I reached out to Wolfcom, where we have all the cameras from probably about maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I told them, I said, hey, listen, when we first called you, you told me that when the new cameras come out, we were going to get them free of charge, that you were just going to replace them, so on and so forth. So they actually sent us the cameras. I still got to get them installed, but they sent us the cameras, so those are here now. So air conditioning. I know you guys probably don't know because you weren't here before, but it's been about, Melissa a little bit, it's been about like the last 3-4 years we've had to baby that air conditioner at the police department. So it ran out again today, so I called Dwayne, had him come in, and he tweaked it, put a little, I don't say fuel, but that's not what it is, but you know what I mean. So put a little Freon, whatever it is, in it. But so he did give me a quote again for a new unit, and he said that, and I understand, maybe additional quotes or whatever it was. I just wanted to add something that you so you can kind of understand where we're at right now. So we can only stick so many Band-Aids on a boo-boo before it just breaks off anyways, right? So, and he also said that the state is going to require, and I'm not talking super intelligently because I don't really know nothing about air conditioning, right? But he's saying that the state's going to require that it goes to a different, like I think he's like what, the 1, 2, 3, whatever it is now, but next year it's going to be something different. It's going to be mandated by the state that all manufacturers of new air conditioners are made to only handle that fuel. And he said the price is going to jump like anywhere from 30 to 45% for equipment and everything. So if you're looking at something like now where it says like $61.75, he's talking about like next year you might get $8,000 or $9,000 for the exact same unit just because it's taking a different fuel. And we're not even sure that what he put in there today, I think he said it holds 22, and he put like 12 or 14 in or something today to try to get it to hold or whatever. And it did start to work, and it's starting to cool down a little bit. It's like 78 degrees in there. But I mean, like I said, we're only gonna do a Band-Aid so long, so I mean, we need to do something. I know we don't wanna spend money, I know, you know what I mean, it's somewhere, but I mean, at some point in time, we're gonna spend more money trying to put Band-Aids on it than we are if we just fix it.
Yeah, he said that the line was deteriorating. Right. And breaking.
We've been babying it for like 3-4 years.
He
Doing this.
said it was put in at 06 on it.
So, I mean, what do we do to try to move forward? I mean, am I asking to make the motion? Are we asking to get more things? Are we asking us to do? I mean, I'm assuming the units won't be different. Much cost from.
Yeah, we'll just need to, alternate quotes.
He's pretty fair on his prices. I just had my book on a few years ago, and it was $5,000. Yeah, we'll put in for bids on it.
Yeah, did you see what you wrote on the date?
No.
You're looking at that.
No, what I just dawned on me.
It's really reasonable price.
I mean, what do you do?
I'm
Like,
not gonna tell you what I was thinking.
I mean, we could switch our uniforms to shorts for the summer or something if you want. But
So it's this unit down here?
Huh?
It's this unit down here?
It was set on 17 today, and I went in there and it was like 81 degrees. And then by the time Dwayne got there, it was 78, so it cooled off some, so I had 70.
And it's like a 50-ton unit, so.
It's hot in there. It is hot in there. And then of course,
It's a metal building.
you know, I mean,
Here's your answer. Now, Melissa will have to check. I don't know what our budget is for our community capital improvement, CCI. CCI can be used for building things that are permanently attached to the building, like furnaces, air conditioners. This is part of the community building. That's part of the community building. This is just a suggestion on my part. You have $5,198.16 that's showing as a current balance. I don't know how much we have budgeted. That's where Melissa can check. I'm sure it's not that entire amount, but whatever it is, I would suggest whatever the budget amount is in CCI, that we use that to go towards paying for the air conditioner, because it's permanent, it's part of the building. That will at least buy down on the cost of some of it, unless you want to go and get another quote. I'm just trying to figure out ways that we can pay for this, make it less costly on, I mean, it's costly, but you definitely could use CCI money.
You've got 8,800 community building on it too, if you ever consider that community building.
Okay,
You could do like.
That's a good-
Both, that way you're not draining one.
right, exactly. That's a good call. We could use part of that. I'll make a motion. Now, here's the thing. Do you want another quote? Do you want to wait and go for another quote, or do you want to go with this one? I know normally we go with two. It's up to you. I mean, this is local. And I'm like Aaron. I've used Dwayne on things for years and years. In fact, we just replaced our heat pump last month. I was very satisfied.
He's really reasonable price.
we've been wanting to fix it for the last
Yeah.
4 years. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's, there was a better deal than that.
I'm all right.
Well, if you're all right with it, I'm gonna make a motion that we spend what the budget amount in the CCI, cumulative capital improvement, whatever the budget amount is, towards the purchase of a new unit for the police department. And, Melissa, do you have any, I mean, I know it's putting you on the spot, but any ballpark, what might be in that budget for? I know. Yeah, it's asking, that's without having it in front of you, yeah.
Can we just say, can you change your motion to just accept that quote, or that way he can get it replaced, and then we can figure out where we're gonna get it paid from?
We could, yeah,
That way it's done, and then
we
you
could
pay
do,
the
yeah.
difference.
We
'Cause he's
could-
not gonna invoice me for,
Oh, no, it'll be 30 days
just
probably.
accept the quote amount, that
Okay.
pretty accurate? I'm assuming if you state.
He just gave it to me today. I asked him to have him before the meeting.
So I would just change, if you can't change your motion, just accept that quote for the replacement, and that covers, you know what I mean, like, that kind of covers wellness. Isaac has his hand up.
How much is the quote?
6,175.
6175.
Even.
I'm wondering if perhaps this is the gentleman that's been fixing it for 4 years, and maybe it wouldn't, if he has been the one putting Band-Aids on it instead of fixing it, I mean, I assume a mechanic should be able to fix something. Should we not check it out, maybe see if there's another source that you might have better luck with?
What we're going through with this, I personally went through it the same type of unit. It's 18 years old.
Okay.
And I did Band-Aids on it. It's the same individual kept, and of course I insisted on it. I didn't want to have to buy a new one. Finally, it said, no, you want to buy a new one, and it let me. So I had same experience with this. Hey, he's a very trusted individual. I think.
Yeah, he worked on mine last mine went out. I got a couple of probably deteriorated and
Yeah.
shoved the pinholes. And he said, yeah.
I'd say that unit's gonna be 15 years old. All right, well, that's 18 years, so I say it's, yes. I'd like to know to keep in that motion, whatever the budgeted amount is in the CCI to use that, though. 'Cause I mean, that's what it's for. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's what the funds are for.
Okay, so we made a motion, second. All in favor?
Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Okay, so working on as far as police department training, of course, we're working on our yearly training, and we have so much to get. We got nothing specialized at the moment. Of course, we're still working towards getting different certifications for the guys as well, so that all of our training is in-house and be dependent on other departments to do so. So that's still in the works. And then, of course, always working with the community. The Explorer, or excuse me, the Explorer, that's right. All right, 43,000, 3 miles on it. So I said that it needs an oil change on there and the tires rotated, but it does not need the tires rotated. I forgot to take that off there from last time, but I had not gotten the oil change yet, so it actually just needs the oil change. So I apologize for the misprint on that. Tahoe sitting at 152,020. No issues with it currently. Taurus is at 42, no issues. Humvee at 17,403, no issues with that as well. The Dark Horse K9 trailer is, of course, no miles on it either. So on the 27th, so every year we've been, I know we've all been to talk about it again this time. So I believe it's been posted on Facebook and all the whatever things. I'll hand you one, just because I know you usually get stuff out there pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying it happens, but I'm just asking. On the 27th, we're going to do cleanup, like we always do. Of course, we're going to do a couple other things along with it. So we're going to have drug take back day, like we always have, except we're going to do it on the same. What we're trying to think is like maybe we start putting things together and everyone comes out the same. You know, we won't have to separate it. And of course, just like last year, the reserves are cooked for everybody, and you know, all these Shelburn residents that come in, they can eat and bring their stuff. We're going to be a little bit more tighter on this year as far as making sure that Shelburn residents, just because we all know, like, people take the opportunity and they're coming in and they're coming from somewhere completely different. And you know, Vigo County is bringing, 3 trailers worth where they just moved houses and cleaned out their garage, and we don't want to pay for that. So we're going to make sure that, like we're paying it for the reserve. And of course, it'll come out my cleanup budget that's in there just like it does every other year. So that comes out of the dumpsters. And then, the resource fair. So, so there'll be ladies there too, and they're talking about just the different resources that are out there in the community they can provide and get women leaning towards and things like that. So it's kind of like a catch-all one day. So hopefully like a, big community event will come together and everyone can get the stuff. I believe Brown Tire's going to come back down again and dispose of the tires that he did for us at cost last year. So, that'll give him a little bit of business, and of course he has this, he just does it at his cost or whatever, but, it helps everybody out in other businesses as well. Any questions for me?
I mean, it's still 2 dumpsters,
Say one more time.
still 2 dumpsters.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get 240 yards, but like we did last time, but like I said, I'm hoping that, if we are just a little bit more stricter on making sure that the Shelburn residents, it won't be stacked to the roof, or to the moon, so to speak. Carl Thomas, who we got from last time, he was real good about, like, not charging us for, like, legit overflow of stuff that people were dumping in there. So I'm pretty sure, I had one guy come in and bought 8 loads, just himself, on a trailer. So he pretty much had the whole 40 yard himself. So we're gonna try to avoid that this year, but we're gonna still do the same, so.
We have a local company that's doing dumpsters now. Would you consider getting a quote from them?
Absolutely, the price is,
It's,
whatever's the cheapest and whatever's doing the Red Dog dumpsters.
yeah.
You're talking about,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll call him, I'll call him.
Just, I mean, give them a chance to.
100%, absolutely.
Matt, can I add to that? We are part of, thanks to the recycling center in Sullivan, we can take electronics, also TVs, anything electronics we can take, and they're gonna help with tires. We can take more, we don't have to limit it to 4 per household, we can take any tires, as long as you're really sharp.
Yeah, so that was a big thing last year too. It was unbeknownst to me. I didn't know that you could just go TV in the dumpster. And yeah, I had no idea. Totally ignorant on it. I had no idea. I know now, I'm educating myself now, we're good to go. But Danielle did reach out to the recycling, thank you, and asked them if they would, so they said they would come so we can actually take TVs and appliances, all that. And I figured what we do is just mark off an area out there somewhere in the parking lot, maybe close to the bank, that way it doesn't interfere with the traffic or anything. And then we can isolate that separate, so then when the recycling company comes in, they can come in and pick it up there, and that way it's so everybody's away.
Yes, we can take TVs, we can take paint, tires, shredded paper, anything that you normally can't put in a dumpster, we're gonna pick up this year because recycling center is gonna come down and get it. So they're gonna provide trailers for the electronics and the paint, and the tires.
I did have one question.
And myself.
Last Thursday, which was April 11th, at 7:01, were you driving your police cruiser or was somebody else driving? Your police vehicle, your police vehicle?
The 11th at 7:01.
Are you talking about his actual SUV?
Like mine?
Yeah. The reason I ask is I was at the gas station and I seen kick its lights on, go through the stoplight, and then it made like 50 yards and then shut the lights off.
Yeah, probably did. So if I'm going somewhere that's a domestic or I'm going somewhere like that, I'm gonna go through the lights, but I don't wanna be lights and sirens when I pull up to the house. I don't wanna warn them that I'm coming if that's going on. So I would assume that that's what it was. I don't know the specific situation, but it's very common for something like that to occur, yes.
Would you get further away from the intersection? Because the guy next to me pumping gas had some comments, and it looked as though, by not knowing
Yeah.
that, you were just doing it so you were in a hurry, you wanted to get to the light.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely not.
from now on, would you make it a quarter mile down the road? That way everybody says that the stoplight doesn't think that you're just. Okay.
Anything else?
That's all I
I think,
Park Board receives United Way and North Ash Valley grant.
Yep, so I have an ordinance to read. It's to create a new fund for the purpose of putting the grant money in, so I'll read it real quick and I'll pass it down to you guys. Ordinance 2024-04-16-02. An ordinance to create a new fund for the purpose of revitalization at Dawson's Pond. Whereas on April 16, 2024, the town of Shelburne was notified they were a recipient of a United Way Water Valley Neighborhood Grant for the 2024 grant cycle. And whereas the purpose of this grant is for specific improvements and revitalization to Dawson's Pond, cleaning it up and making it safe and family-friendly community space. And whereas the town council of the Shelburne deems it necessary and proper to establish a non-reverting fund for these funds. Now therefore be it hereby ordained by the town council of Shelburne, Indiana, that section 1 fund established Upon request by the town council, there is hereby established within and for the municipal government of the town a special non-reverting operating fund for park purposes which shall be known as the Dawson's Pond Revitalization Fund. Section 2, sources of funding. The source of funding includes monies awarded from the United Way of the Wabash Valley Neighborhood Grant during the 2024 grant cycle, in addition to any donations, future grants, or financial matching from the town. All monies received by the town of Shelburn from the United Way of the Wabash Valley Neighborhood Grant 2024 shall be placed in the Dawson's Pond Revitalization Fund. Section 3, uses of funding. A, upon request by the Parks and Recreation Board, there is hereby established within and for the municipal government of the town a special non-reverting operating fund for park purposes which shall be known as the Dawson's Pond Revitalization Fund. B, it is further provided that any and all funds deposited into Dawson's Pond Revitalization Fund shall not revert at the end of each fiscal year to the general fund of the town, but shall remain in Dawson's Pond Revitalization Fund to be utilized by the Parks and Rec Board on a continuing basis. Section 4, termination of fund. The Dawson's Pond Revitalization Fund shall exist until terminated by ordinance of the town council. Monies from this fund may not be transferred to another fund of the town. Section 5, effective date. This ordinance shall take effect upon passage by the town council. Duly adopted by the town council of the town of Shelburne, Sullivan County, state of Indiana, the 16th day of April 2024, at which time the quorum was present. And I'm gonna switch it on this time.
That's our wrong spot.
I saw Alex, I thought, oh.
I just need a motion. You guys
Yeah.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, future town council meeting date. What I have is one date I wanted to bring up to see if the town council would change. I failed to see that on August the 13th, I will be at a conference on August the 13th. I was wanting to see if the council would be willing to change our August meeting date from the 13th to August the 20th. That would be a Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll plan it for
Okay, I appreciate that. That was. Okay, rules of decorum amended. What I did was like was read in the minutes, last month's minutes. I went and changed, amended. We went from rules for speakers, and we amended and put in a clause. During a regular, members of the public may address the town council the following times during a meeting. We added a third bullet point. During a regular meeting, when an agenda item comes to a vote by the town council. So that was added for the amendment. Then under rules for members of the public, it read, members of the public shall not engage in any of the following in the meeting room during a town council meeting. All right, the amended version I have here, I'll read it. Members of the public shall and all elected town officials shall not engage in any of the following in the meeting during the town council meeting. That was the two amendments. We all initialed it, and I just wanted to bring this to your attention. I did amend it. Give you all copies of it. And if Melissa wants to keep that for the record, it amended, and here's copies with changes, there's two amendments. So that being said, with the amendments, you see, make a motion that we adopt finally the rules of decorum as amended by those amendments. Everything else as is stayed the same.
I'd second the motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. 120 water project. Is that something that would be brought up by Joel?
Well, that's what I was saying, whenever we were talking about that
Okay.
GIS,
Okay.
we're adding stuff into it, because
Okay.
rolling my conference well, you guys heard, I can send her a link,
Yes.
and she can, get information off there.
Okay.
Didn't think to ask her, but I meant to. Basically, when we put a new line in, it's BBC instead of steel. So, you're not gonna use lead, anything, if we've got BBC.
Right.
So, I meant to ask her to assume that the BBC lines are not gonna be lead, because we have a bottleneck since we started using BBC, so that should be a no-brainer there.
Right.
But I didn't prepare it, so, but on everything else, I've been adding it
Okay.
as I can.
Okay.
I think I've added, I don't know, 100, that we already had dug up,
Okay.
so, it's coming along. I haven't seen a link yet, so it's doing kind of what you said, wait until I have enough to look at,
Yes.
and then see it through.
Okay. All right, well, I did inspection generator project, alternative quotes and ideas. What I've got, I just wanted to bring it, I wanted it on the agenda too. Because it is old business. Since Wesley Engineering is really super high, I reached out to Tim Hill. He works for Peerless Midwest. Tim Hill has done our wells, inspection of our wells for years and years, his company has. And I ran that by Tim about having a hookup at the well field just for a portable generator. And his thought was the flooding, that he couldn't see how that would be feasible to put one at the well field. And so he didn't like that idea. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. One at the chlorine building would of course work because it's not going to flood. And that was the reason for the black lines for the generator to get it up above the flooding in the first place, because that's what added a lot of the cost. So what I considered, and that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention to see what you thought. We still have this problem. IDEM's not going to let us off the hook with this. I think as long as we're making progress towards trying to alleviate the situation, they're going to leave us alone. Eventually, they'll want to see us. I want a permanent solution. So, I don't even know if they'd even be interested, because I haven't even discussed it with them. But Midwestern Engineers, when we did the grant, the EDA grant, one of their engineers, Richard Birch, did what's called a preliminary engineering report for the town. You had to have a PER to be able to apply for the grant begin with, or EDA wouldn't even accept their application. So Richard put it together. So he's got a lot of expertise on what he thought was required for that generator. And his thought was one generator at the chlorine building to do power chlorine building and the wells. He didn't understand why we would have to go out in the well field and build a tower and place it out there.
Just run the power from
Yes,
chlorine to.
yes, yes. We've got the ground, where that was not gonna be really much of an issue anyway. My question to you, as a council, would you allow me, or would you want to entertain the idea that I reach out to them? Of course, again, I'd have to abstain from any type of vote, even in this situation. Of course, I did file a conflict of interest, it's uploaded in Gateway and all that. But I think it would save us some time, and it might save us some money, and they may not even be interested. I haven't even talked to them about it, because I wanted to discuss this with you before I move forward, and if you don't want me to move forward on it, I'll understand. But we really probably need another engineering quote, since that one was so high.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just, it was unrealistic. You know, I went to them because I thought they were the engineering firm that the town selected before, started with the process, even though the town backed out later. So it was naturally best to go back to them, because they had worked with it. But I just know Richard Birch worked with this initially. And back in the 80s, they designed the whole water system, the well field and everything, so they got all the schematics on everything they had. So, and if you allow me to do it, they may say no, they may say yes, they may come up with a quote that's even higher than Western. I don't know. Or it may be too high that you still wouldn't want to do it. I just know we're going to have to do something.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking at price generators. I mean, the most expensive one I found would operate like a whole wing of a hospital. It was like $60,000. And I mean, that could operate. I mean, all the stuff in the wing of the hospital. If we just use one, like I said, run the power to the other one, I mean, I think we could get a much better deal. But yeah, I'd entertain any.
Can we add this to the agenda for next week's meeting with Dustin? Because Dustin actually had two really good ideas that he brought forward to the old council, but the old council chose to table it to give you guys the decision. But Dustin's not been here to have the opportunity to give those to you guys. So can we table that for Tuesday and let Dustin kind of bring in his ideas as well? Maybe all you guys put your brains together. I mean, in the meantime, though, like, we can get a coach.
Yeah,
I think Dustin should be involved because he's a big part of that.
like I said,
Want to make sure Joel's here too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Does the project have to have an engineering company? Can we cut the middleman out? Does it have to have an engineering company?
I think IDEM will frown on us not using some type of a professional engineer, whether it's HWC engineering, Westler engineering, Banning engineering, Midwestern engineering. They're going to want to have certified engineers with the design with this. It's just too much. It's a public water supply. They're not going to be very happy if we go with just
if I hook it up.
Exactly. And you want to make sure you get somebody that knows what to do and specify the right type of equipment.
Did you say that Dustin had some ideas?
Yeah. Well, you know both sides of the order, but higher tech run.
So,
Hear what he has to say.
do you want me to reach out to Richard Burris and see if he's even interested in looking, not giving you okay, but just,
Yeah.
then I can have an
See
answer?
what he has to
Because
say.
if Midwestern doesn't want to do it, then that door's closed, we'll look for something else.
Yeah, you can reach out to him this week and we get Dustin
Okay.
next week.
All right.
Yeah.
So add that to the agenda for next week, too.
Yeah.
Employee handbook.
You added that to next week's agenda, right? Employee handbook, or no, did I miss that?
at least talk about what we amended, or what we want to, because what we gotta do is decide if we want to make this amendment, get it to Kristen Deutsch so she can change it. We had a problem, came up with one of our respective employees. They did the driving, doing a record on his driving. He had a violation on his driving record. So that run the risk of our insurance. Our insurance right now, currently, I guess we're not having much of a problem with it, but we're gonna have to renegotiate our insurance renewals in July for next year. If for some reason Springer Insurance picks up another company, that company may not like that violation and we hire him, then we're gonna go down that road. We open the door for any other prospective employee that has a violation, we can't discriminate. So, we emailed each other back and forth. There's no quorum involved, but I needed to get some kind of consensus. And we decided we'd have it in this meeting and we'd bring it up. My suggestion, and this is, the council decides what they want, this is my suggestion, that we amend the section in the driving records of our proposed policy manual, that a prospective employee, if they have a violation on their driving record, that they won't be considered for employment with the town of Shelburn. Kind of that type of wording. If you want something better, have at it, it's fine with me. But that's kind of what I was looking at, was to try to amend that and at least vote on it tonight for the amendment and then get it corrected, and then in the next meeting we could vote on the entire corrected version of the employee manual.
Make a motion to do that.
We got a motion made to amend to put violation, if they have a violation on the driving record, that we will not consider their employment application. I second that. Got a motion second. All in favor?
You might have to put a date
Yeah.
for that.
I wasn't here for that whole thing.
You might have to put a date for that, you know what I mean? So if somebody has one 10 years back,
Yeah.
you might have to put, you know what I mean?
Is it like a speeding ticket or a seatbelt ticket, or is it like a DUI?
DUI.
DUI.
Oh, gotcha.
Normally, we only hold applications for 3 years. What we did is, we're gonna amend with that incident we had with prospective employee DUI on the driving record. So we're gonna amend the employee policy manual, have Christian make the amendment to change it, so any future employee that has a driving record violation, we have to consider them for employment application. We'll have her make the change, and then we'll have the updated version for the next meeting, next Tuesday night, of the calendar, and then we'll adopt it.
So before we move forward to the next topic, since we're on that topic, what do you want to do about your current situation? Because in the minutes, we voted for one, and then they voted for someone else, you know what I mean? Like, how do we want to move forward with that, I guess, with the employee you did hire?
I called him the day that he was supposed, that evening before he was to take his first day of employment, and I told him we have a problem and that we would address it at our council meeting and try to resolve it. So, and I haven't reached back out to him, but that's what I told him. So it's whatever council wants to do, I guess.
So I guess I'm confused. So if you change your policy, will he still be allowed to be hired then?
The policy hasn't taken effect, we vote on it, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so he is still hired then? I guess I don't want this guy sitting at home thinking he's got a job, and he doesn't have a job, you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like something needs to be
Unless you can
done.
go retroactive.
Somebody wants me, I'll do it if you want me to. I'll call him and tell him what the council has considered, what we've done, and that chances are by the 23rd, it will be a permanent amendment to our policy manual that we're going to adopt. And if we do that, then his application will be null and void.
even though he was hired before this came into, your policy? Like, he backtracked,
I still think, I don't think that's really,
because didn't you already hire him? And
he
now
hired him, but he hadn't started employment yet. I mean, he hadn't started his first day,
Oh, yeah.
and we didn't realize that he had a DUI. At least I wasn't a part of the interview. I didn't know.
I mean, he
But-
put it on his application.
He put it on his application?
Yeah, he was straightforward with it whenever he came up with
Okay,
it.
so yeah, he was straightforward, but just the fact that my opinion, this is just me talking, that I don't see the risk of hiring him, having him go out and work, and something happen, and,
Is it like recent?
Well, you did hire-
last 2 years,
Last 2 years.
which then, normally they go 5 years, I think. They need to
I
get
just
you
wanna,
hired.
I just wanna mention we have rules of decorum, and Isaac is following the rule by having his hand up, so can we follow him?
I did break it just now, but, so you did hire him, you made a motion, you hired him. I like what Jesus said, where we put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. Okay, so I'm in his shoes, I got a DUI, 2 years ago, within the last 2 years? And I got an application, I put in the application, I'm hopeful, but I'm not really expecting anything, I go to these meetings, they look me in the eyes and they say, you have the job. Now I'm gonna get a call from Mr. Southwood or somebody else who's brave enough to give this bad news. And I'm gonna have to hear, oh yeah, we did hire you to your face, but like not actually because of the DUI and its risk on insurance. I don't know. That seems kind of, that seems, it's almost lying, it's on the verge of lying.
On his part.
On the applicant?
Matt,
Well, didn't he put it on his resume?
I know,
yeah,
I know that this isn't my place as the town council, but I would just ask, I mean, having been a business owner, running the department, we actually can't do that. I would check with the lawyer, but we can't because I did the background checks, he was upfront, he was honest, we still hired him, knowing all the information that we did. He didn't lie on the application, he didn't lie, we seen it, we knew it, we hired him, we can't not hire him.
It sounds like
We're open, we are open. I was telling you, I understand your concern. I understand the whole part about the insurance, and I understand all of that, I honestly, God, I do. But the problem is I think that we're gonna open ourselves up to something way bigger than that, when we already did that. I would push it to the council just to check, but I don't believe in the HR requirements where laws have changed recently. I don't think that we can do that. I really don't.
If you go through with the hiring, like if you, since you already hired him, and you renege on what you already did, how's he gonna do his job if he can't drive any of the town's vehicles? That's what I'm saying, he can't drive anything, so how is he gonna fulfill his job duties if he can't?
well, the concern's not whether he can do the job or he do, he can
Right.
actually the job. The concern is that if we switch insurance companies, they may take exception to the DUI charge and our insurance rates could go sky high and nothing that we can control. That's the concern I have. That's nothing against him. He was upfront and honest. If our insurance stays the same, but then this even came from our own insurance carrier, from our own insurance agent said, you go down this road, then you're gonna open up yourself up and you'll be discriminating. If you go down this road, you'll have to from then on. So any future employee could have a DUI, may not even be 2 years, it could be 6 days, or maybe 6 months prior, which then really makes it fresh. I got this advice from our own insurance agent.
So since you changed insurance, now does that?
We haven't yet. And she said
But
there's
if
a,
you do, does now everybody that's employed with the town have to have a background check?
Yeah, you do background check or no?
Well, I know, but like Melissa works, so yeah, background check, Jill have to have something.
Every like June, May or June, I have to send everybody's driver's license numbers, birth dates to
Right.
Springer. Springer then runs everyone.
Yeah.
she does that as a requirement,
Yeah.
so they know, they keep current each year. She sends that information in. They do their due diligence.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I figured.
yeah, so that, I got this straight from our insurance agent.
I think that's probably the point of view you need to take with the employee that we get this out of order, and
Yeah, I got the email, I mean, she said, you can do what you want, but if you do this, you run the risk from that point on that you're gonna have to do that for everybody, so.
King had his hand up for a while.
Okay.
I just wanna know, basically, so if this rule is implemented, is the violation that this gentleman committed, allegedly, is that specified, or is it just broad scope, all driving violations in the last 3 years, you said?
Probably the last 5, I think, because I think it goes 5 years and then it kind of gets expunged from your driving record as far as the BMV is concerned.
So my concern would be, are you guys gonna be using this code to oust people who violate like a speeding, have a speeding violation, or is it gonna be more severe? Should that be specified in the ordinance that maybe like OVWIs, DUIs, reckless driving, maybe, more
I think
serious
it'd be,
offenses?
exactly, it'd be, reckless driving, speeding tickets, things like that, but, reckless driving, driving under the influence.
Things that put points on license.
Exactly.
Well, speeding tickets do as well, and Matt can tell us that, they do put points on your license, so.
That was a license for a seatbelt ticket.
I don't think about that.
Yeah,
You can.
How about driving offenses that might be arrestable?
Felony.
A felony driving offense, misdemeanor driving offenses, something that's arrestable. You're arrested,
Right.
you're not arrested for a speeding ticket.
Yeah, that seems more, I feel like it should just be specified is my thing, because then it seems like it could be used like, if it's not written down, or maybe somebody that, maybe not your board, but the next board likes, maybe they kind of get let off like, oh, it was just a speeding ticket. But then if somebody that they don't like, perhaps they enforce it in a more arbitrary way.
What do you think?
Does anybody talk to Offset, the town's lawyer, about it?
No, I don't recall that I talked to Terry about it. I mainly just was confirmed back and forth with our insurance agent because I knew that's where the hinge was. Because if we go, and like she said, if we change insurance companies, they give us a quote and they see that and they run that, then the premiums could go fairly high and we'd be stuck with that for quite a while. So.
Well,
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but the manner in which he was hired was kind of odd. You had a candidate already in your heads, but there was somebody in the public who said, well, this gentleman is in. Yeah, you advocated for this person.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to point out the fact, I didn't say I this.
Right.
I just wanted to point out, because I didn't think anybody noticed.
So, but that gentleman had went to all the meetings and stuff like that, and so it was strange that you suddenly switched from what the applicant you had in mind to this new applicant. My question is, was this applicant that you now hired, was he misleading during the interview? Was he misleading on his criminal
he
record?
was actually, there was 3, we hired 2, there was 3 that we'd made down to the final 3. He was one of the final 3.
Right. So he was completely upfront and authentic with you about his previous criminal record?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So is the town going to make a motion on this now and fire him, or is the town going to make a motion to talk to their attorney?
We got a meeting Tuesday, don't we?
I personally think, we need to make this amendment, but we've already hired him, and like I said, it was up front. We have to learn from our mistakes.
And the ordinance is only about hiring, or it's about retaining employees? So if it only covers hiring, then perhaps this gentleman gets let off the hook because he was already hired. But then if it's about current employees in general, then perhaps, But I think what I heard from the ordinance is that it was only in the hiring process, right?
Correct.
So he's already been considered, he's already been hired, so this ordinance would even be grounds for firing at this point, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not a lawyer, but I can make it legally.
I think we need to make this amendment, but like I said, he falls before this amendment's been made. I think we're just gonna, and that's my opinion, that we've already hired, not knowing that not even thinking of how insurance could be affected. He was up front with it. It was on his application, Matt ran his background, and nothing else
showed up, correct?
I didn't find anything else, and he was honest with what he said. I mean, he put his OBWI, well, DUI, I should say, the OBWI on the background, that's all it was, a misdemeanor, so, first offense.
I mean, everybody was all right with that, and yeah.
Does he still live in one job? Somebody talk to him?
I guess I got a question now, along with these rules. I mean, will these rules stand if, so he's hired, and then we put these in behind him? I mean, will the rules even stand at that point then? I mean, if you're gonna follow someone with a rule right after you hire someone, will that stand?
Yeah, but you don't have to use the rule as the reason, it's the insurance. It's not.
It's the insurance, that's the whole point. It's nothing against the individual or the employee, it's the fact that it's the insurance. The insurance is what's the determinant driving factor in this whole situation. It wasn't for that, but we can't, my opinion, we can't run the risk of having him work one day with town vehicles and probably nothing would happen. I would say it would. But if we change insurance companies and we get an insurance company that does not like DUIs on driving records and they're going to be paying, they're going to make us pay. And I can't sit here as a town council member running that risk of running everybody's, run the risk of the town having to pay more money out for an employee. That's my stance. So there's three others that can give their opinion. That's just how I feel. It's nothing against the individual at all. It is a driving thing, is the insurance.
Well, it's true, and if the new insurance has a problem, then we'll give you this time now, and if we're switching, we switch insurance. If they have a problem with it, then we might have to let you go that way.
Well, I think that'd be worse than, I think that'd be more unfair to him than to me, that'd be really unfair. Go ahead.
Perhaps a way around the uncomfortable sentiment in the crowd and amongst the councilmen, maybe you could implement a temporary rule, since you've got the hiring rule implemented already, that perhaps for the next a temporary ordinance that will last for maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years, that if anybody has a DUI on their record that's already been hired, or an OBWI that's already been hired, that perhaps for a certain period of time, the period of time that you would allow to pass before you hired somebody, that person has to pass a breathalyzer test before they get behind the wheel of a vehicle. I mean, especially if there's only one of them.
The thing is, you could put all those in there or whatever, which is, would be okay, but that's still not going to, we could put strict things on the employee, he's got to do this, he's got to do that, but if the insurance carrier says, we're going to raise your rates because you have an employee that's got a DUI charge, and we're going to raise your rates here regardless, we're back to the same situation. And again, it's nothing against the individual, it's just the way, if the insurance, we didn't have to worry about insurance premiums, I'd say hire and go, but that's, and I wouldn't be so jittery with the whole thing if it wasn't from our own insurance agents and one that gave us the advice. Danielle.
So if you don't hire him, you don't have to switch insurance? So the only reason you have to switch insurances is if you...
We may never have to switch insurance. The insurance company we have with our agent may stay the same, but when it comes up for renewal, our agent, what they do, they go out and they shop around for trying to get better premiums. And if they find a company that's going to give us a quote cheaper than what we already have, well then they're going to suggest we go that way. Well, if we do, and that company says we will increase premiums on a DUI charge, then we're locked in, and then we're going to have to pay that higher premium.
So it's not that the insurance you have now is not going to cover him?
No, they have no problem with it.
Gotcha.
But
I think
the agent also said, that's fine, but if you choose to hire this employee with a DUI, knowing he's got a DUI, then from that point on, you better hire anybody with any type of traffic violation going forward, because if you don't, then that next employee, if you think, well, no, we're not going to do that, can turn around and sue you for discrimination because you allowed it the first time. She said, you're opening up a door you can never shut again. And I agree with her.
Yeah.
And that's nothing against the individual. It's not. It's all about if we have to go with a different company. And again, I'm going strictly off her advice, what she said.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe touch base with Terry just to cover.
that's up to the council. If they want to do it, I have no problem.
I think we should talk to Terry and address,
So we're gonna table this till, can we table till Tuesday? Is that an open meeting? Can we talk to Terry by Tuesday? That's fine. Why, what's all on my plate?
Oh, we just keep adding things.
Oh, that's okay, we have another meeting.
So, table till Tuesday, and someone's going to talk to Mr. Moxley.
Yeah, I'll reach out to Terry. Downtown maintenance fund, building fund.
Okay, I'm gonna read this. It's very similar to the one we read earlier for Dawson's Pond. Ordinance 2024-04-16-01, an ordinance to create a new fund for the purpose of downtown building maintenance fund. Whereas on April 16, 2024, the town of Shelburne has decided to create a fund for the downtown buildings of the town of Shelburne and Shelburne Redevelopment Authority own, and whereas the purpose of the fund is to have a fund where any maintenance or improvements needed to the downtown buildings may be paid for. And whereas the town council of the Shelburne needs the necessary and power to establish a non-reverting fund for these funds. Now therefore be it hereby ordained by the town council of Shelburne, Indiana, that section 1 fund established upon request by the Shelburne Town Council, there is hereby established within and for the municipal government of the town a special non-reverting operating fund for building purposes which shall be known as the Downtown Building Maintenance Fund. Section 2, sources of funding. The source of funding includes monies received from businesses and or individuals who pay property rent for any downtown buildings owned by the town of Shelburne and or Shelburne Redevelopment Authority. All monies received by the town of Shelburne from business or individuals for property rent shall be placed in the Downtown Building Maintenance Fund. Section 3, uses of funding. A, upon request of the Shelburne Town Council, there is hereby established within and for the municipal government of the town a special non-reverting operating fund for building maintenance and improvement purposes which shall be known as the Downtown Building Maintenance Fund. B, it is further provided that any and all funds deposited into Downtown Building Maintenance Fund shall not revert at the end of each fiscal year to the general fund of the town, but shall remain in the Downtown Building Maintenance Fund to be utilized by the town on a continuing basis for maintenance and improvement to the buildings. Section 4, termination of fund. The Downtown Building Maintenance Fund shall exist until terminated by ordinance of the town council. Monies from this fund may not be transferred to another fund of the town. Section 5, effective date. The ordinance shall take effect upon passage by the town council, duly adopted by the town council of the town of Shelburne, Sullivan County, Indiana, the 16th day of April 2024, at which time a quorum was present. Pass that down.
I got a question for that. So the money that we bring in from these businesses or rentals, we're not using that for any payments or anything like that. We're just gonna put it into a fund to be able to fix the building.
So this is not for, this doesn't include the money from the reserves for the community building. This is just for the businesses that own that we lease. So Taco Tequila, the Green Building, I call it Thompson Station. I don't know what everybody else calls it, but the building on the corner. In the future, if you guys were to get a tenant in the bank, that would be included. In the future, if you guys purchase other properties and you want to include that, that would include that too. But so you're looking at just to give you a ballpark, you get $600 a month for Taco Tequila, you get $300 a month for the Green Building, and $300 a month for Thompson Station at this time is what you're getting for those.
So we make this fund,
Yes.
only, this money can only be used for that purpose?
Yes, so like Taco Tequila, which is the HVAC system, or Thompson Station, let's say, they just got a new roof, but let's say they had a hole in the roof and they needed the roof repaired, you could use that fund from there. Right now, we don't actually have a specific fund to replace, like the community building has a fund, so like if something goes wrong here, we take it from the community building. The janitor / custodian that we have, that money comes, some of the money comes from the community building fund, so this would be specific for that. And yes, you could not use it for something else, no.
Okay. Matt?
Melissa.
Yes, sir.
So, the money that goes into that fund, even though like so for those buildings that are ran by the redevelopment committee, then that money goes for the repair of those?
For maintenance, yeah.
So the only reason I'm asking that is because I had said something to Jay about it, I wasn't sure what to do, and I was gonna ask the redevelopment committee to have a meeting. So Mike from the Green Building called me the other day, and he sent me pictures too, like the roof. So he built all that stuff on the inside, that was part of the agreement that when we rented it to Mike, like if you remember, like he had to fix up the inside, he had to hang it, and this and all those things.
redevelopment commission owns the,
I'll have to look at it, because I haven't seen that lease, I have all the leases for everything.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
I'll
that
look and
one.
see tomorrow.
redevelopment
I think
commission.
I thought all.
I thought that's what it was too.
Yeah.
Since we're on that subject, and we're looking at this ordinance, proposed ordinance, this is something I wanted to run by the town council anyway. I was gonna do it later in meetings, I might as well do it now. I would like to see all of our downtown properties, the, gas station, the, anything else that we get, property-wise, even the vacant lots that we have, that we deed them over to the redevelopment commission. Because the redevelopment commission can do things that the town itself can't with the town-owned properties. So the way that's worded, I'd like to run that by the attorney again and see if we could change the language to redevelopment commission, and see if they legally, since I just think they should own the properties going forward.
Can we table that from the discussion? Because
Yeah.
we're doing really good on time tonight.
No, I'm not saying for tonight, no, I'm just saying, but, that's
We
something.
might be out of here at some of a decent time. Just to give you a list, we do have a list of all the properties. Debbie Stuck, myself, and Heather got together last October. We got a map and we put post-its on every property we own and marked it, whether it was redevelopment authority, redevelopment commission, or town. So I can take that and put it in like a spreadsheet for you guys, so you can see what we own, who owns it, that kind of thing, and then you guys can make your decision on what you're going to do that way. If that
Will you
works.
send that link, please?
Yeah, right now it's literally just a map in my office. I can take a picture, but yeah, I'll
I
take.
meant like if we were.
Yeah, I'll get it all together, and try to put it in a spreadsheet for you, and that way you guys have all that, and then you guys can do what you want to do with transferring and all that.
Can you send me that ordinance you made, that proposed ordinance, email it to me, because then I wanna,
Sorry, I didn't send you up.
can you email me that
This, yeah,
proposed?
are we passing or not passing?
No, we'll just table it.
Okay, we're tabling it.
Anyone else wants it? Pretty much.
Okay, 2024 fireworks coverage policy agreement with the Shelburn Volunteer Fire Department. We discussed that, Alex, before you got here, and we thought we would just dovetail that and bring it up next week and discuss it and probably adopt it at that meeting. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, as long as someone will start paying me, that'd be cool.
Okay.
The contract automatic renews, I need a check if you're not gonna approve it. Either way,
I think
it automatically renews, so,
I think it would.
I mean, it's right here.
I know.
I'll take a copy, you got a copy? Yeah.
Okay. Baker Tilly, US LLP
I'll
agreement.
pass this down. Jay, you probably know more about this than I do. Baker Tilly merged, split up something with their business anyways. They just need a new updated contract between us since their business name is changing, or I'm not really sure, to be honest. Passing it up.
So it's just based on new management.
They were at one time called Umball, and they merged in with this company, Baker Tilly. So that's why they need that change, because they've changed it.
Yeah.
It's been Baker
Make all
Tilly.
they do.
It's been Baker Tilly for probably at least 3 years now.
So I don't know if you need a motion for it, or if the president can just sign it. I'm not really sure on that. It just came in the mail, and I wanted to make sure to pass it along. We can sign it.
So same company, different company?
I read it, it's like lawyer talk, but from my understanding, it's the same company, they're just changing their name from being like Baker Tilly Municipal
Yes. Okay, non-compliance issues, one I got is, I've known it for a while, but I knew it's one of those things you just can't ignore forever, so I was gonna bring it up. One of them is the codification of our ordinances. I reached out to Paul Jones, he works for American Legal Publishing, and he's worked for American Legal for years and years. And I asked him about the last time the ordinances were codified, and he wrote me back and said, Jay, with the publication of the S-21 supplement in November 2021, American Legal Publishing updated the Shelburn Code of Ordinances through ordinance number 2021-5-11, adopted almost 3 years ago on May 11th, 2021. At your earliest convenience, please submit copies of all recent ordinances for codification as the S-22 supplement. You may send paper copies by regular mail or digital copies to my email address. If you are concerned about cost, we can provide you with a cost estimate once we have received a complete set of your recent ordinances. Please let me know if you would require further clarification. I look forward to hearing from you and providing Shelburn with this next supplement. I'll give everybody a copy of it. It's pretty self-explanatory. All Melissa has to do is just go back and look at the last ordinance that shows on here that was adopted back in 2021 and go forward with all the ordinances from that point up to, I would say, up to whatever we've adopted anything early this year, and just submit those PDF of them, just submit them to Paul, and then he can work us up a quote. They've codified our ordinances since the mid-90s. It's not so much a state board of accounts requirement, but I don't know too many municipalities in the state of Indiana that don't have codified ordinances. It just makes it easier for the general public. They can go online and pick them out. Used to, we had a copy, we kept a current copy at the library, and we do submittals or supplements. We take the old supplements out, put the new ones in. And it's another reason you do it is if the town hall catch on fire and our ordinances got burned up, at least you got your codification copy. Also, with American Legal Publishing, when each new supplemental, they send a copy to AIM, Accelerated Indiana Municipality. So AIM has a copy of all of our ordinances also. So,
Is this an issue or anything? Or just send them in and call it a day?
yeah, you can just send them in. I just want to make note of it to get it started so we can get them updated.
You mentioned you've known for a while, so in the future, I mean, again, like, there was no, how-to portfolio for me when I took office.
No, there's not. It's
So
all,
if there's something else from your 38 and a half years of experience that you know that we need to be doing,
well, I tell you what, I would be more than happy to, anything that you would need from me, or that you think of, or you see on the listserv that you're uncertain of, I would be more than
well,
happy
that's what I'm
to
saying, like,
help you.
I don't know what I don't know.
I understand.
So like I don't know that we need to do this with our ordinances, because I don't know.
Well, yeah,
I
and
can't ask you for something I don't know, but is there something that comes to mind that you think, oh, you know, I used to do
Sure.
this with our treasurer, she may not know this, maybe
Right.
I should send her an email and ask her if she knows about it, or, you know, remind her to do it, or whatever.
well, at the time, there was a time constraint on both of us, which is kind of not there now. So that that was another reason why there's things I know that I wasn't going to, you know, and it wasn't nothing to be putting you down or anything like this. And this is why this is coming out now, is because we can kind of confer back and forth and get some of these things done. So
You haven't been in office for almost 2 years though, so I mean, there was time prior to that.
I'm not going to chit chat back and
No,
forth
I
with
know,
you,
I
okay?
know.
Let's be civil with this and just move forward. I'm not doing this to make you look bad. I'm just pointing this out, and let's just move on. The other thing we have here, and you're probably going to have some help on this, is USDA. This is dated back in January. USDA compliance reports. Mr. Southwood wanted to give you an update on the non-compliance on the annual reports and budgets for the town of Shelburn. Currently, RD has not received the following: wastewater budget 2023, budget 2024, annual report 2022, annual report 2023 due March 1st, stormwater budget 2023, budget 2024, annual reports 2022, annual reports 2023 due March 1st. Since the annual reports are coming up, please feel to return the budgets due at the time as well. Everything will be caught up once those are received. Please feel free to call me with any questions. Cynthia Ferguson. Cynthia Ferguson's a sweet lady. She's easy to work with.
So why are you receiving those emails?
I requested it because I was council president. I knew they were out of compliance. I felt like they were out of compliance. I didn't know that. That's why I reached out to Cynthia. Knowing that they were behind, I knew she wouldn't. We needed to reach out to see. They're like
Did you forward that to Melissa?
I wanted to wait because there's some reasons why. I think everybody in this room knows that I'm not going down that road again. We're moving forward. So I'm getting this out now so she can get with this and get on top of this now. They're not going to come in here tomorrow and take the town over, but we're going to have to do this and get this going, get this finished, get this updated.
But as far as I remember from the court case that you before you guys can have, that you guys can now have.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Everything
And
official.
have it for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything official with this town of Shelburn, yes, and that's what I intend to do. Why wasn't it emailed? Because I had a protective order against me.
No, I'm talking about 6 weeks.
Now, be careful, okay?
Don't yell at me.
I'm not yelling at you,
I'm
just
telling
keep your
Don't
voice down.
point at me, Jay.
Keep your
Don't
voice
do
down,
it.
please. I'm not gonna put up with this.
You did, all I'm saying is, I asked why it wasn't emailed
Okay.
after the protective order was dropped.
It wasn't dropped, by the way, completely.
Well, it wasn't dropped. We got an agreement that
Then why wasn't
it doesn't really matter right now. What it is now,
If
we
it
know.
didn't matter though, Jay, you wouldn't be bringing it up after.
Well, I have to bring it up because this council didn't know anything about it either. So we have to bring it up. We have to move forward and get this corrected. We're not going to get fined. We're not going to get, but we have a covenant. We signed a covenant years ago when we borrowed this money. And now we're not talking the state of Indiana. We're talking the federal government here. And they can get nasty. They could put this thing in receivership and sell it out from under us if they wanted to. I don't think they'll go to that extreme, and I don't want to sit here and make
But
sure.
as long as you are continuing to reach out to those people because you have a connection with them, then that kind of cancels her out altogether, unless you communicate to her, right?
That's
And you guys
what-
have had the open.
That's
door
what
now.
the whole purpose is going forward. That's why we're bringing it up now, okay? So, Melissa's gonna have to have help with this. She can't do it on her own. And it's nothing against her. She don't have the experience, and it takes time. So my suggestion, the town's gonna have to incur some cost, but we gotta get it done. So my suggestion is, we at least get a quote from Mike Crowley, that's been doing our capital assets. Get a quote from Mike and see what he would charge the town to get this in compliance. And going forward, he could train Melissa on how to keep it up going forward.
It just looks like you're bypassing her and, you know, that you're going over and out of your way to bypass what she needs to be doing and then bring it in front of everybody that, oh, she hadn't done this or she hadn't done that, so.
I think
You can read into it however you want it. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying.
I just
You
hope
gotta
going
get-
forward, they can work
Oh,
with
yes, absolutely.
just not at these meetings, that day-to-day business that comes up that you're going to.
I can see that. I can see it. I can see it happen. I can see it happen. But this had to be brought out. We have to move on it. I can't move on this on my own. So, I'm open for discussion. What do you think? She needs the help, and I'm willing to, if you're all in agreement, I'm willing to make a motion to have Mike Crowley give us a quote.
Are you cool with Mike Crowley?
I'm cool with Mike Collins. I don't think we need a motion to make a quote. I'll just send him an email and be like, hey, I know what this would cost to do.
And I want
If you
to.
want it in the minutes, go ahead.
Yeah, I want it in the minutes. I make a motion that we ask Mike Crowley for a quote on getting our RD annual reports in compliance.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Is it okay if he can get that to us before next Tuesday to put that on the agenda so that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Town Facebook page. I'm gonna tell you my reasons for this town Facebook page. I haven't liked the town Facebook page. When I reached out and we had an agreement, we got a contract with OGL Solutions, they put the Facebook page and then they tied it to the website. And I kick myself to this day because they told me up front they aren't in business to build websites. But since we were a client, they do it anyway. So they did. I think it's a duplication. The whole idea of the town website was to get people drawn to the website and use the website. With the Facebook page, it pulls away from the website. I think the website needs some improvements, but we can work on that at another time. I just think the Facebook page is just duplication. I just don't like it. I think it takes away from the attention of the Facebook or the website. And I think we need to concentrate on this website going forward and making it better and try to get more people to visit that page.
You're gonna get more people to visit a Facebook page than a website.
Our age is showing up there, Jeff.
Well, I'm going to say one thing. The other thing too, there were some posts on that Facebook that I found very offensive. One of them was we were threatened. I was threatened personally, and then our town council was a derogatory statement said about our town council, and it wasn't taken down. And I was not too happy about that. I don't know if it's taken down now. I have no idea. But at the time, it had not been taken down. In fact, that was in testimony at the court. And the judge had a problem with that too. And didn't give a straight answer why it wasn't taken down. So that's another reason I got a problem with it.
May I speak?
You may speak.
So, when you requested to put this on the agenda, I obviously somewhat knew what you were discussing. So I went through the Facebook page today. I printed out every single, I think you had said it was like end of February, beginning of March. I printed out every single post on our Facebook page with the comments. The only comment I could find was 5 weeks ago, Joe Fassbender said Jay and Matt are both, and there's a slice of pizza,
Yes.
and then a pile of poop. I printed that out, so I'm going to explain to you first of all, I didn't delete anything. I cannot delete from the Facebook page. I know you're going to say that. So I'm going to read to you the Indiana code. I learned this when I was at training in January from Luke Britt, which is the Indiana Public Access Counselor. So social media records in Indiana are governed by the Access to Public Records Act, APRA, which requires the retention of and grants public access to any writing created or maintained by a public entity regardless of former characteristics. Indiana Code 5-14-3, and it can break it down even more. I'll kind of summarize. A court may impose a civil penalty for a violation under subsection C against one or more of the following. 1, the individual named as a defendant in the action. 2, the public agency named as a defendant in action. And then it kind of breaks it down and the fines are $100 to $500. So if something is posted, and I'm sorry to say this out loud because if someone's could go do this, but if something is posted on that town Facebook page, I cannot delete it as that. I mean, I just can't. If we do, then I'm opening us for lawsuits. That's Indiana code. There's nothing I can do about it.
Well, you just said the right magic word when it comes to lawsuits, because what I'm afraid of, especially as volatile as we may get some situation again that could be more volatile than what this whole mess was that we went through. And they started accusing some citizen of something this, something that, and now you said we can't legally take it off. Well, that person could be a citizen, and some of the citizens could see something about that citizen, and it's on our media that we control, or maybe can't control. That person may say, you know what, I'm going to sue the town of Shelburn because now that's out, and you can't take it down. Now I'm going to sue you. So I think it makes it more of a liability. Why we got this medium that we can't now, even says we can't control, which I believe she cited it. I think it leaves us even more open. I think it ought to be shut down. That's my case.
Okay, no,
Sir.
So I think that, I know that what you're saying is correct, that when you destroy public records or delete them from the internet, that does open you up to liability. I will say that there are already Indiana codes that cover if an individual is threatened with intent to harm. I'm sure there's a couple law enforcement officers in the room that can attest to that. So if there was a threat being made by somebody on a Facebook page, there are already avenues to deal with that if it's a threatening comment. I will say that I don't think that I have ever heard of a case that's passed the higher courts where somebody has been sued for something somebody else said. I'm not aware of it. I am not a lawyer, so I can't give legal advice, but I'm just saying I'm not so sure that it does open you up to liability. That's just my, I don't think I can.
And I'm not an attorney either, and I haven't run by the attorney. It might be something, that would be something that we should run by the attorney if the council would want to do that. I'm just using my personal feelings. I'm one of four. I don't ramrod anything. I just wanted to bring it up in discussion, how I felt. And if you want to run by the attorney, I say run by the attorney, get the attorney.
I will say though that if you want to see stats, because I can't pull those on our website, you're getting reviews on your website because of your Facebook. So for example, when I posted, hey, we have a town council meeting, here's the agenda, like we had like 200 and some people click that agenda, which opened up on our website. So I mean, I think you had made a comment like it's actually sending more people to the website than, you know, maybe vice versa. So just a heads up.
And I frequent the website, and I know Facebook's there, I frequent the website.
And I clicked on and went to the agenda, so it does take you to the website.
So I don't know why anybody would want to have something with the town of Shelburn's name on it they can control. So why would the four of you want something that anybody can put on that you can't control on your town?
It's democracy.
Are we talking
No, I think
about like
it's-
Shelburn Happiness page or the Shelburn, Indiana?
Shelburne, Indiana. We're just talking the Shelburne, Indiana, the Shelburne Town Facebook page, not.
Shelburne Community Act.
No. That's something.
This is a municipal.
Yeah, this is tied to our municipal page.
Can they write comments on the page, I would
I
imagine?
mean, yeah, you could turn off comments. That would
Yeah.
that would
I'd say turn on comments.
That would be, and again, I
That's
would
what
want to
I
check
did
with
my
Terry.
last
We'd want to check with Terry on that if you can.
Do you want me to run this by Terry and just table this and get some answers?
I think if it's possible, just to shut the comments on it, I mean, that would solve the problem, and still get the town's information out there without.
I'm for that. If that, I just don't want us being sued down the road. Some two people get into it over something, and then we get sued for something we can't control. That's,
Danielle and Kurt.
go ahead, Daniel.
Who monitors that page?
I run it, I don't monitor it.
Like, who runs it?
Yeah, I do.
So she's the only one that can post on it, right? Like, I can't go on and post on it.
No.
Why would you need to be on there?
I'm not.
No.
I'm not, I'm just saying, like, nobody can just be on there and post on it, unless it's the only one that can post.
You can comment.
But I can comment.
Right.
So it's just like a business page, so like.
Yeah, like, it's just like a normal Facebook page, but it's a business page, it has to town number, and unless it's the only one that has
But
access to it.
Matt, I don't know.
What
Sorry.
is,
I think your department is the same way. Like Cody in Farmersburg had a similar situation a few months ago where he had his like town of Farmersburg Marshall or whatever his office is called, and they had comments. They had to turn their Facebook page off for a few months. So like the same thing can happen to your page too. Are you going to go shut it down? Like how else are you going to get the information out to your people? You know what I mean?
yeah, like, Matt gets spammed all the time, just so whenever go out there by spam, like, well, I'm sure the town Facebook page. is-
Right. What
Everybody does.
Once they comment, Matt can't believe it either because that's public record. He's part of the town of Shelburne. So the same thing can happen with his department.
I think that is.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I can't get on there and slander everybody in Shelburne because I'm a nobody, except for a resident.
What's the purpose?
See, that's
So, like, if I shut it down,
that's
I'm
my
not getting
point.
information out.
That's my point. If I got assurance that no one can get on there and slam somebody else, and nobody sees that, and we don't have a big war going back and forth to where our town and somebody say, well, how come the town's not shutting this stuff down? They libeled me on, or or slander me over something, you know, if you can cut those comments down and it's just information only, I have no problem with
I
keeping
mean,
it.
the only way to cut them down is you have to turn.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so my concern is that I think that I think a lot of people in the town of Shelburne can agree that in a lot of other places in the world, we kind of deem them to be a snowflake society where like, if certain people say certain words, they start to melt. And the whole purpose of like having, you know, town anything is so that the citizens can go up there and, you know, obviously see what's going on, but I don't see what would be wrong with allowing words. Obviously, there's already legal remedies for everything you say. If somebody slanders somebody, you can sue them. I know that I've got a lawyer on call, and anytime somebody slanders me, he is dying to sue me. So my concern is that we are losing, and this is something that might start here in Shelburne, and a lot of other municipalities have Facebook pages, and they allow comments. My concern would be that we're turning into a snowflake kind of society here where we're losing the whole idea of sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I run my own YouTube channel. I got about 50,000 people that watch it, and I get hateful comments all the time. But you know, I allow those to go up because what's the harm? Like, people can express their opinions. It's okay.
Well,
you know?
I don't like the harm when I get threatened with my life.
And if you get threatened,
I don't like that too.
If you get
It was
threatened,
on a children's post. It was on a basketball children's post.
Yeah.
So here people are clicking on a children's basketball post and writing vulgar things about these four men and the president.
How do you know?
and they don't have to.
Would you like me to show you?
They don't have to.
Was it the town, Facebook page, or was it Shelburne Community Happenings?
It
No.
was on the town's
Because that's
page.
big.
It was on the town's Shelburne USA's page. If you want to see them, I have them on my phone right here.
No, like, I just didn't know if you were getting confused of all the shit that happened.
So I tell you what, hey, let's just have some order. We'll revisit this at another time. It's went on this long. One more week or two is not going to kill us. I will get with Terry Modisett and get some answers, and then I'll report back and we'll put it on the agenda. So let's just move on. Park board meetings in Mill Street Park Fund. On the park board meetings, one of the comment I had is, can there be some way that we could switch them to the evenings? The reason why, I mean, I'd like to attend. You may not have very many people attend at night, who knows, but I think I'd like to see it be in the evening. Whatever, Monday or whatever you want to do, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, our council meetings are in the evenings, our redevelopment commission meetings are in the evenings. I just would like to see our park board meet in the evenings. That's the only reason I wanted this on there.
Jake, as park board president, we did ask about that to our members. And as far as I know, there's no law or rule that says we have to have them in the evening.
No, there's
As
not.
long as it's publicized, every one of us voted that 1 p.m. works best for us.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Aaron at the meeting, Alex has come into the meeting,
Well, I can't come.
Paula's
Paula's come to the meetings at 1.
I work through the day. I can't come.
I mean,
I mean, High Maritime Council has their time limit.
Yeah, I mean, we get complaints and
I know, but we've never
people
got.
around the town, they'll be like, can you cover High Mary? And I'm like, yes, and they're like, well, can you tell them to meet later? But here's the problem, right, is you'll get a few meetings where everyone complains, says their piece, and then you have a meeting to cater to them, and then we get something like this. I mean, I think I remember for a few months, this was a full house, and now it's just kind of.
so we put it to the vote, it was best for Kevin, it was best for Jenny, it was best for me, it's best for Melissa.
Maybe every now and then.
Is it best for the town?
That's the way I'm looking at it too. I mean, I like to attend them occasionally. I mean, I plan on attending every redevelopment commission meeting. Of course, you know, I'm very thankful that the council worked with me, Melissa, to have on the days that I couldn't be here to work around my work schedule. I just would like to be able to
But that's
attend.
the thing, Jay, the park board don't have to work around your schedule. We have
But
ours that
you
we
are-
do, we have our things that we go in and we do, and nothing gets done until we bring it to you anyways in a public meeting.
That's true, but it's a
I
public.
mean, Alex has
you're a
been there,
public-
Aaron's been there. Do we do anything? I mean,
I just got a problem with it, but I'm one for it. They don't wanna change it, that's fine, I mean, I don't care.
Can we change it?
It's up to the council to change it, the park board can't. The park board serves at the pleasure of the town council, it's not the other way around. So, I'm just saying, I wanna see evening meetings, that's all I'm saying.
The
If we
park
don't
board
get
has
it,
been around for years.
The park
Years.
board-
Doug Emmons' wife used to run
The
the
park
park board.
board-
Did you guys ever tell them when to meet and when
They
not to?
met in the evenings.
But did you tell them, or was that just their choice because that's what worked best for their
Well, it's
schedule?
because they never had a problem, because they always met in the evenings so people could
Well,
attend.
we've done this for 2 years and nobody in the town, not one single person has ever complained. It works best for the four of us. Ginny's retired, I'm already there during the day. Heather is off and works perfectly. It works for everybody. We asked Kevin voted on the last meeting, he was fine with it. He also doesn't work, I believe, or is off, I'm not sure his schedule. So it works perfect for us. So if the council has to vote, then I'm gonna ask as a town council or town park board member or whatever, that you keep it what works best for us. We're doing a lot of work for the community, we wanna continue to keep doing a lot of the work for the community, and this is what works for our
The
schedule.
day I was there, the baseball.
Yeah, we had like a full day,
Four or
the
five
youth league came.
And
there was people coming.
Well, what I look at is, I haven't heard anybody, complain about it, I mean, it becomes an issue where there's a lot of people that like to attend, I mean, we can't just accommodate for certain people, I mean, the majority of rules, like I said, I couldn't attend because my was scheduled, but.
It all comes from the board anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, if it works for the majority of people, then, I don't see changing it. I mean, just for few people that wanna come for a little bit, then, don't come the rest of the time.
Also, starting in 2025, all meetings for all towns have to be streamed. So that will include our meeting, the redevelopment commission meeting, the town council meeting. So starting January 2025, anybody at any time can log on online and will be able to view it as well. So, starting January 2025, all meetings will have to be streamed. So right now it's all meetings, but they're currently trying to get it just to town council because small communities are having a hard time figuring out streaming.
Having a hard time figuring out internet.
Well, I don't know that. I think technology in whole and making it all work. But yeah.
So then if the town gonna buy equipment to be able to stream everyone we need, and then we have it at one central location
I mean that's what. So I'm talking to a lady in another little town, and they're already doing it because they wanted to get a head start just to get all the bugs out before it started. And they're streaming it live on YouTube, so you can set up a YouTube link, and then that YouTube link, once you're done streaming, then you can put it on your town Facebook page, your town website, whatever. So, but it has to be streamed live.
So what platform will this be streamed from, and is whoever posts it have everybody blocked that they will be able to
I
see
mean,
it?
it has to be streamed, so it's not gonna be on Facebook, it has to be streamed on a streaming service. So YouTube, I don't know if there's that Puzzle, you probably are more familiar with
I would volunteer to, if you guys are going to consult me about how much it would cost to get things streamed on YouTube. I know a way to do it extremely cheap and extremely foolproof. So I'm sure a lot of places do it, and I would do it for free. I would consult with you guys for free. So.
Anyways, that's literally not until 2025. So I'm just saying if it does come up that there's an issue that people are wanting to attend the redevelopment committee, but maybe they can't come on, whatever your guys need, whatever, they'll have a streaming option in the future. Anyways, I would like to ask the council then if you're going to make a motion, I'm asking that you make a motion that allow the park board to continue to have their meetings at what works best for their schedule. Which if you need to put the details, that's the second Monday of every month at 1. That way, if we have something we need to bring forward to you, we have it put together and then for you the next day.
I presume I'm problem with those are, like I said, if a bunch of people come to it, we can't,
And later on down the road,
if a minute.
Can I have a motion so that that's in the
Make a
motion to keep it
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
I vote no.
What's the Mill Street Park Fund?
Yeah, it's Mill Street Park Fund's next, so that's,
I just kinda put that on there, I didn't know what you guys wanna do. OPE, I think, got a grant, is that correct?
Yeah, I went to pick it up Monday, but Jay already.
yeah, I got it right here. It's gonna read this. Since we're here, let's just do it. Wind Energy RMC Community Trust Incorporated Accountability Statement, Town of Shelburn, March 6, grant award date, grant amount $3,286. Purpose of grant, purchase a swing for City Park. Contact Jared Miller. Jared, the guy that I talked to, he emailed me, I don't know, called me like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He said he tried to get in touch with you. He couldn't get in touch with you, so my name was on there, so he called me, so that's why I just went ahead.
No, yeah, that's all right.
That's okay, yeah.
Ended up getting my phone fixed and,
Okay. Yeah, it's Colin Mahoney. He goes, organizations understands that grant money must be spent within 1 year. The grant award date, organization understands that they must provide an accountability report to Wind Energy RMC Community Trust Incorporated within 1 year of the grant award date. The accountability report should include a detailed description of the project on which funding was spent and all applicable receipts and documentation. Send the accountability report to Colin Mahoney, 3981 Southwest Highway 41, Vincennes, Indiana. Organization understands that the grant must be spent for the intended purpose as stated in the application for funding. Organization understands that if the grant amount is not spent within a year and an accountability report is not submitted or funds are not spent for the intended purpose of the grant, the organization will be required to reimburse the funds to the trust. Since you wrote the grant, Jared, I'll let you sign it and date it, and I would say send it back to them. Melissa can make a file for it. I think we have a copy of the grant.
Yes.
And it will show, I think, probably the swing set that we should purchase. I told Mr. Mahoney that when we purchased it, we would attach a picture of what it was and a picture that actually been installed, and of course the receipt and all that stuff. So here you go.
Do you want me to create a fund for that, for Mill Street Park, since we plan on doing additional upgrades with additional grants that we're getting in the future? Do you want me to just put that in the Park and Rec fund? How would you like me to? I always was under the impression that if it's a fund, or if it's a grant, it needs to go in a separate fund.
I agree. I think it should.
So,
I agree 100%.
You
Yep.
can put it, I can get it written up and have it for
Yep.
next Tuesday's meeting, if that's
Yep.
okay.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think that should be set up separate. Yeah, you just sign it at the bottom. I mean, open it up and you sign it here and date it, and it's all good.
We did have, the park board does have some new projects going on at the Ball Diamond. There's a new shelter house that is built, it's 99% complete, thanks to Opie and Aaron. They spent the last 5 days working on that. The new concrete's finished, there's been cleanout day, we had about 11 people total show up for the cleanout.
Cleanup week.
Yeah, cleanup week. The flowers, Ball Diamond has.
Speaking of the park board and all that stuff, and I noticed that you had on there, you posted about following the master plan, and part of that master plan was Dawson Pond. What else is next on that? I don't have that master plan in front of me. What else is on that master plan to go forward with? Do you know?
Are we talking about the 5-year plan?
Yes.
I don't have it in front of me, I don't remember, not that many years ago, but it was, Dawson's Pond, the Ball Diamond, the Mill Street Park, and then the green space, and then I think also mentioned on it was then at one point trying to connect all spaces with some sort of like a
Pass.
sidewalk or trail or something along those lines. But I can get a copy for everybody, I'm sure it's in your office, or my office, somewhere.
Okay, yeah, if you would, that'd be great if you could get it to the council. We got a fund report real quick, I'm jumping down. I got a concern, maybe you can answer this for me. Our sewer operating keeps dwindling, now it's down to 28.4. I'm just, what do you?
We just paid the big, USDA sewer loan that was due in, that came out in January. If you want, do you want a detailed, like a detailed fund report with all expenses and income coming in?
Yeah, if you would,
Do you want all of, like just all of 2024?
yeah, if you would. And I had that on the agenda, and you probably just missed it when I sent it.
I didn't see it.
Proposed monthly reports. I'm gonna give my reasons for this. I've been working with a developer, and that developer's gonna come in within the next couple of weeks, and I'm gonna show them our commercial properties and our residential properties in the town of Shelburn owns, because right now, we're incurring the cost of mowing. And this developer's rather excited about looking at our properties and maybe encouraging some home building. Not saying that's 100% gonna happen, but at least it's a start. Well, I'd like to start getting some real detail on where we're going, so some of these projects will know where we stand. I noticed in our community crossings announcement, for Sullivan County got over $2 million in community crossings street money. Shelburn got 0. That's just unacceptable for me. I mean, we can't go down that road. And July 1st opens up another new round. I'd like to get some accurate reporting so I know there's some funds that we can pull some money from. I think we could come up with $100,000 or $125,000 a local match. Now we're talking $500,000 that we can do in our streets instead of 0. So I'd like to get, going forward with the council's approval, I'd like to get, and again, I'd be more happy to help Alyssa, in an email, show her what I'm looking for, examples, or she could reach out on listserv, with other clerk treasurers that do these reports, and I'm sure most probably does these reports. But I'd like to have them in PDF form. From just for example, going into May, I'd like to have April's before our May meeting. I'm looking at the proposed monthly refund reports by bank. You can group them by bank. Right now, they're all just grouped together. By grouping by bank, it'd take the water utility, put all the funds in the water and give us an accurate amount, how much is each the water utility has in all 4 or all 3 funds, sewer, stormwater won't, because it's all thrown into the general bank account. But I like to have a detailed monthly appropriation report by fund. The reason for that is we start pulling money out of some of these funds, there's only a certain amount that we can pull out because we only give some amount budgeted for 2024. I don't want to overspend the budget because then we get wrote up by the State Board of Accounts. And I don't want to have to go in there the last part of the year and do an additional appropriation because we've overspent. That's my reasoning. Appropriation revenue by, I want a detailed monthly appropriation by fund. I want an overall appropriation report with a general report of everything because it'll show our balances, our line item balances. I want to make sure that we keep everything not overspending. And with some of this money we'll be pulling to put into our local road and bridge matching fund, I want to make sure, especially the MVH restricted, I want to make sure we don't overspend our budget for MVH because you got MVH and MVH restricted in one budget. Revenue detail by fund, I would like to have that. So I want to see a revenue stream that we got coming in here, especially in our funds that we want to pull this money out of to put in our local road and bridge matching, which that fund, once you dump that money in there, that's what you use to apply for your community crossings grants. That's my reasoning for this. Now also, we got junk in our town, duh, I think everybody knows that. Well, there's 3 that I see in this town that they need to go bye-bye. They need to be torn down and eliminated. Well, I want to know how much money we got. I want to know what our appropriation balance is so we don't overspend, especially when you add